we're live with the LOT site clinic.
Hello.
And we got Alex Tachalova here again.
Thank you
How
for
are you
having me
doing?
the second time.
Oh yeah, you're a great guest. What do you
Thank-
what do you think? Is this something that helps people, or is there something that you would like to add or to remove from this format? Be honest.
well, I love this format. The only thing that I think makes the whole process much more on point if we have more specific questions, because
Mhm.
a lot of guys they're just dropping their websites and not just letting us know what kind of help they're looking for. That's the very first thing. And when they're leaving some generic comments, it's also like kind of not really helpful. So if you really want to get into get into fixing some problems, then ideally we'd love to know what kind of problems you have. And so the more the more details you could add, the better. So
Yeah.
that's just my comment here.
Mhm. Wonderful. So I agree that those clients that send us questions and very specific problems up front got a lot more out of this. I mean, if we look at a site like here, our first site, the voyagers.travel, we do see that there are some problems in the backlink profile. There is a high risk here, and we see a lot of notifications showing up here that we can take care of. But very often, especially in these days when we have things like the recent core update, people have a specific areas of interest, specific drops, specific keywords that they drop for. And this is something that would help us a lot for the audit. So, guys, when you submit your site, make sure that you give us as much as possible context for the audit. And I think this is a good time for a general disclaimer. When we do the site clinic here, the LRT site clinic, doing an SEO audit in 10, 15, or 20 minutes for a website, this is by no means representative for a full SEO audit that an SEO consultant, that an agency would do for you, which would sometimes take days or even weeks, depending on the size of your website, depending on the problems you have, depending on the complexity of this whole thing. So if you get the impression that you just need to hand in the site for us here and get your problem solved in 20 minutes for free, I'm sorry to be the party pooper. We go for the low-hanging fruits, and we try to give you ideas and inspiration for where to look at. But like in many things, the more effort you put into it, the better your results. So this is a little bit of a warning upfront, just so we're on the same side, on the same boat. All right. So Alex, voyagers.travel. Did you look at the website here?
Yeah, so that's kind of a personal blog about traveling.
Hmm.
So I guess most probably this website is monetizing through affiliate network, which should be quite logical. So what I noticed from a link building site that the owner of this website, so he purchased a few expired domains and redirected those websites back to his main one. So I want to actually, Christoph, I have a question to you.
Yeah. Okay.
What's your opinion on purchasing expired domains and redirecting those sites to your own website? Do you think it's a good strategy? It's a bad one, or it might be good and bad at the same time? Because currently I also have my opinion on this one, and I'd love to just to get something out of it.
Okay.
And
So expired domains have been around as a secret for like 20 years in SEO, probably, or 17 at least. And there's always in every year someone who says, nah, expired domains don't work, they will get you into trouble, they don't work anymore, why are you still talking about it, blah blah blah. It's just like the people that say links are dead, SEO is dead, marketing is dead, whatever is dead. So in general, expired domains work and can help you big time, but the rules and the, let's say, the constraints get harder for you to be aware of. So While let's say in 2010 you could just redirect all the domains to your main website, to the homepage, without any worries. It's not like that anymore. This can get you into trouble. So for example, in 2012 Google introduced that redirects, oh no, sorry, that was 2013. 2012 was penguin updates and links could have a problem, could be toxic. And in 2013 redirects could be toxic. Now, if you buy a lot of expired domains, chances are that maybe one of them has a penalty. If you don't check for that and you redirect that to your website, you inherit that penalty. You earn it from that other domain, because not just the positive stuff, but also the negative stuff passes over. Same as with links. Also, in that same update, Penguin 2.0, they changed how redirects work in general. So redirects to the homepage, if you redirect every subpage of that previous website to your homepage, then you have a problem already, because Google interprets those redirects to the homepage as soft 404s. Or in other words, like you would not have those redirects. I know that sometimes people still see effects. So, like all things SEO, it's not black or white. And I'm positive that some people maybe have some success. But my recommendation is to always redirect to some categories of yours or to some sub pages of yours. And we can look at that here for the Voyagers Travel. For example, when we look at the anchor text, we maybe see some of those domains here
Yeah, it's
in the anchor.
Galapagos. So that's the one actually you see.
Mhm.
Anchor
Yeah.
Cloud looks
Mhm.
very, very strange. I mean, like, so
Mhm.
he's actually owning an Anchor Cloud of a redirected website, which is actually one of problems, because when you do like a simple redirect, well, most probably you're going to own not relevant anchor text to your website.
Right. Oh, look at that. That is sad. So you have this website, Galapagos
It's a
Inc.
Spanish one, I guess.
Yeah.
So that might be the third problem, because this dude, he has an English-speaking website, and
Yeah.
he decided most probably to save some money on, and he chose a Spanish domain,
Hmm. Hmm.
and so well, it's not matching just in terms of language as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And what we see here is that the target where he redirected it to, so Galapagos fixed departures was a subpage, and it was so that was good. However, the page is not there anymore. So
Ah, okay.
all the 6,000 links that we see here briefly, that the source page has here, they are redirected. Let me. We can start that real quick in the quick backlink checker, but that's a domain and its backlink profile by itself. So I would recommend for anyone who has a domain with 6,000 links that redirects into your domain to do a link audit, to set up it's a small domain, so it's not expensive, but to do a link audit, run link detox on that one, and make sure that you don't inherit any toxic links. So we can start that real quick here with the default settings and just check on those links. Okay, so yeah, we get some extra links from Ahrefs and improve, ding, ding, ding.
Christoph, what will be an ideal setup? So let's imagine that so you purchase a domain and it has some toxic links. Do you need to disavow those links before you're
Yes,
going to start a redirect
yes,
process?
yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So
Yeah,
first of all, so guys, so the first step will be checking in link research tools. So whether this particular site has any toxic links, then circle back to Google Search Console, disavow those links, and only after this, start the process of redirecting pages, not to the main page as well.
yeah, exactly. Um, let's see. Oh, this is the quick backlink checker. So for this redirected domain, I didn't do a full audit, but I started our quick backlink checker. And so we see from those 6,000, we see 700 links or so here already. And it look a little bit weird to me just from the domains. When you look at these domains, article online, some directories,
Oh
that
yeah,
seems a little bit
it's like
problematic.
Yeah, it's like tier 3 links, so-called, when you just,
Mhm, mhm,
create some user profiles and whatever it is, which actually I don't like this strategy because I don't think it's really adding any value to your SEO and backlink profile.
mhm.
So yeah,
Exactly.
it's
So
kind of waste of time and money if you hire someone to do that.
exactly. So what I could show you also is an upcoming feature that we have here in my admin account, available for that domain. Hang on with me a second. Because even without having started that full audit, we could look at the voyagers.travel main
Mm-hmm.
domain and the links to the redirecting domain here already. You
Mm-hmm.
see, here we
Mm-hmm.
see, the source power and trust of them. There is something there. But when I start this in my uh, admin version, I can give
Mm-hmm.
you a little bit of a teaser for an upcoming feature where we
Mm-hmm.
see the toxic links specifically
Mm-hmm.
on, on the sample already. So the source
Mm-hmm.
pages are here, and I can
Mm-hmm.
enable my detox risk light. We call it detox risk light at the moment.
Uh-huh. It's going to highlight here the toxic links on the fly.
Mhm. And with this, we already only spent a couple of seconds and no huge link crawl budget just to see,
Oh yeah, I
some
see
links,
it's
some toxicity. And when you look at that, you realize, no, this is not a domain that I want to redirect into my domain. Certainly not.
yeah,
And
for
and so
sure.
what you need to do here is, of course, you can dive deeper on this sample, and there's 800 backlinks just to look at
Mm-hmm.
and get an idea. But I would say this is exactly what I just did before: is set up the full crawl for that one and do a full
Mm-hmm.
link cleanup on that one, at least
Mm-hmm.
once. Yeah. You have to be aware, though, if you have a domain like this one redirecting into your own website, you have some past link power, you have some past backlink profile, but the web changes. Right now, this domain maybe just earned or received from a donor at 10 million spammy links. And if you have a redirect, you won't even notice. So a typical backlink check doesn't bring up all these redirected links. So our
Yeah.
recommendation is, if you have a lot of redirecting domains, is to set them up and monitor them on an ongoing basis.
Yeah.
Ah, oh, here's someone missing our faces. We totally
Yeah.
forgot that. I'm sorry. I got so excited about the question. I'm sorry. I should
No
have
worries.
remind me about that next time.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, when we have all these links, when I see directory wall, directory bin, we can load one of those here. But
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. It's
this is
just
spam. Copyright
yeah.
2006 to 2012, and this is what you earn. So a lot of people, when they look at domains, especially expired domains, they just do, look at the number of linking root domains. They look at the number of links. So, for example, Ahrefs DR domain rating also just counts the number of root domains.
Yeah,
112 root
definitely.
domains. Hmm. I don't know which DR value that is, but if you just take a number and say the higher the number, the better, then you're in trouble if you have trash links like this. I can certainly give you 10,000 extra root domains and increase this hrefs DR to whatever. And this is what people do. But that
Yeah,
doesn't make
yeah.
the website more valuable. You actually have more troubles down the line, down the road. Yeah. And so my recommendation in one sentence: run a link detox for every expired domain that you purchase, especially if it's an auction where you have, let's say, spent hundreds or thousands of euros or dollars. Run that link detox before, because even if that domain is not connected, even if you cannot open it in the browser, you can analyze the backlinks to
You
that.
can also
Well,
take a look in Web Archive if you want to know more specifically
exactly.
about So, for instance, what kind of pages existed on those websites. And in fact, it will be much more effective if some of pages will be you're going to redirect similar from one page to a similar page. So, for instance, if a website is really relevant to your niche, you can try to create similar content on your website. And one more thing about expired domains, that it's better, first of all, not to redirect them once you acquired them, but a little bit to spend a bit time on updating their content. So first of all, if for instance, we have currently, so on Black Friday, I did purchase one domain. And currently, we are we haven't yet redirected it anywhere, because what we want to do, so we want to firstly to update some content on this website. And then only when we see that it's going to appear in Google will see all those changes. We are going to slowly start redirecting this website back to our website, rather than just, doing it at once. One more thing that, my friends recommended me, my SEO friends, that it's better to do it through Cloudflare, because Cloudflare will just, kind of do it gradually rather than doing it on your own. So anyway, sure, go ahead.
I think the Cloudflare recommendation has to do with the proxying and making sure that the website is run on separate IP hosts. But that's, some people call this black hat already, when you have your own expired domains and have a link network. And
no,
Google
I don't think so. If you go to Brian Dean website, backlinker.com, he purchased an expired domain from, but that was very good acquisition in terms of website, because he purchased actually a website that will be solely focused on link building. John Cooper's website he purchased, and that was a very good one, because it was 100% relevant to what Brian has. And in fact, that's what you need to find in your niche. That will be the best solution here. So just creating similar page on your website, for sure, not the same one. So you need to update content. You need to just, to restructure it a little bit. But from so basically what you need to do, you have an expired domain where you have some content that was actually ranked quite well by Google. And right now it's outdated, basically, because it's expired. What you need to do, you need to create something based on this content, but in a what will be up to date. And in that way, Google will just see a connection between it gives you a good reason to redirect, first of all, because you're saying hey, here is a better version of the same content on my website. So, and that's the reason why I redirect all links and all SEO value to my website.
Exactly. Yeah, this topical relevance. I see here we got another domain. This EC. What is com.ec?
I don't know. It's
Ecuador. Ecuador.
Ecuador, right? Do you think so? I don't know. I've never heard.
Google.com, EC, Ecuador, yeah.
Ecuador, okay.
For Ecuador. Right, so they have this Ecuador domain, and it redirects to the Galapagos Islands information. But here is an Ecuador specific part of the website. So I would rather redirect the Ecuador specific websites maybe to these Ecuador pages.
Yeah,
right.
That makes much more sense.
Yeah, exactly. After making sure that the backlink profile is there. But in general, I would say this type of redirect makes sense, because the websites that are redirecting are here from some airline, Aerogal, maybe an airline that went bankrupt. Oh no, Aerogal is now Avianca. That's cool. So they renamed their airline name and let the domain drop, and he picked it up. Okay. Okay.
Interesting.
Well,
Interesting. It's just like saying like, oh, I don't need it. I no longer need this website. We are just, having echo.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
funny.
There are so many big companies that just let their domains drop, starting from governmental organizations to banks to insurances. So there are a lot of very strong expired domains out in the market and often reused or abused. And I heard of very few legal issues because of that. It's somehow people people do their rebrand and they say we are a SEMrush, not SEMrush, or something like that, and then they tend to forget the
That's
last
a good
12
joke.
years. Yeah, I mean, okay, in this case, the domain remains the same, but with other companies here, I'm pretty sure at Avianca, which is now Avianca, it's even not even cool to mention Aerogal. Oh no, that's the old name. We don't like it anymore. And so these domains that they may cost 10 euros a year or something like that, $20 maybe, but this is what people then start to save money on because they say we don't use it anymore. They even let expire their trademark registrations. And if you don't have a trademark, if you don't have that domain, then you give it up completely. And that's really I would say a destruction of assets, of long-term assets that I would strongly recommend to watch out for in any kind of marketing. Yeah. So yeah, because I just mentioned our friends at SEMrush, they want it now. They probably have a trademark on the spelling with the old spelling they had for 10 years, right? And when
I guess so.
you have a trademark for that one, you need to update it with all kinds of authorities. That's what I would recommend. But still keep the old one. Yeah, so that's some fine details. And this guy here, the owner of Voyagers Travel, certainly um, got a benefit out of some companies not doing that right. However, when we look at that, we see the typical spam patterns here from the globe that we can easily fix because they're so common that we just need to click a button and be happy. Unavailable links. Negative SEO pattern. I would recommend to disavow them in bulk now for the 2000, and we may always come back with a warning a little bit later if there is one or two good ones in there. And what we sometimes see here when we look at, oh wow,
Oh yeah.
oh look at that, Aerogal, source redirects, Aerogal. They're probably
Mm-hmm.
ranking like crazy for Aerogal. So we are now
Yeah.
looking at redirected links and redirected keywords, and this is what you earn. What's boobies?
So yeah. Well, what I'd love to add here also, despite purchasing expired domains and redirecting them, they if you go to any tool like SEMrush to take a look at their organic traffic, you will notice that while their organic traffic has shown some positive trend, the number of keywords that they have, it's not changing. So the trend is quite stable. Well,
Yeah.
that
Would
looks
you like
fancy.
Would you like to share your
Yeah,
screen?
I'll do this, absolutely. Give me
Yeah.
1 second, I'll share it.
Before
So that's basically, hold on, I'll share my screen. So that's basically what I'm talking about. So you see, so it's like, it's a very, very slight change of the number of keywords by which they are ranking, which is not good in effect, even though if you go to traffic, you see that there is some, let's say some changes, but keywords, they are quite stable.
which is good.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of not good because when you in fact, when you are redirecting a domain, you should appear by a broader number of keywords.
Yeah.
So
Well,
this
maybe
one should be growing as well.
maybe we need a larger scope. Can you switch to 6 months or to 1 year here?
It's yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
You
Not
see, yeah,
change.
it's not like 1 year might be. Well, actually, no, not really.
No.
Yeah, I was looking at this one actually, in fact, and this one shows 1 year as well. So this one is quite stable in 2 years. Yeah, you see, when now everything just, started, it was like, and then there are kind of a quite flat one graph.
Yeah. Well, at least they didn't have this major drop here in with the recent core update, so that's good. Good for them.
I think it's too early. I mean, like, it might take some time, as
Yeah.
always.
So can you look into the domain in the above comment?
Yeah, sure. I'll stop sharing my screen.
Which domain should we look into? I don't see an above.
So do you want to go with maybe break and breakfast, or I don't know. I don't have any preferences. Let's go with the third one.
With the bed and breakfast?
Yeah, bed and breakfast, whatever is guide.
Okay.
So one more travel website, actually.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, we had that in the system for a long time already and never picked it by random. So I'm glad we do that now. But as you can see here, here in, what is this, October 19, we had a huge increase of risk suddenly. So it looks like the backlink profile was kind of stable for a long time. And then and this is where the benefit of having this run and refresh on a regular basis. Here in October already, the risk built up. And while the 600 or 700 risk seems like there is risk, in the travel industry, this is okay. This is not red. It's not above 1,000. So the whole metric here, detox risk, if it's above 1,000, you should be worried, or maybe even have a penalty already. So let's see what happened here. We do have some warnings.
Yeah, I see. Actually, what I see from Ahrefs, that they have like kind of the trend of, I'll show you. Of the referring domains, it's kind of, I would say, like not a positive one. So they are going not up but down, which is not good, actually. I'll share my screen.
Yeah.
So I think, so the most, sharing. So the most important thing, so that your trend shouldn't have all those ups and downs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because what happened most probably that some of referring domains that were previously linking to them removed their links, and then they were like kind of acquiring new links. And so right now it's also like kind of shaky. So ideally, you should have something like this. You see referring pages, which is a more like, positive trend. Like with everything in SEO, once you start doing something, you need to keep doing that. Otherwise, your website will stuck in terms of rankings. So I think it's very important, because basically, if you do something like, you've started to acquire links at some point and discontinue doing that, this kind of flag out to Google that you are not longer a trustworthy brand at some point. So you are not really, people are not talking about you and you are out of a business or something like that. So it's very important to keep this trend. And so if you it should happen more gradually in terms of link acquisition as well, not adding tons of links at one time and then stopping doing that. That's what's called purchasing links, actually. So because the organic link acquisition can't happen in one day.
Yeah, I agree. Here's a question. Can you scroll down a little bit when we see the referring domains versus referring pages?
Yeah, it's here.
Referring pages go up all the time. But this drop here in January, March, May for the referring domains, which are just collecting the pages, they don't seem to match together. Why do the pages go up, and the domains go down? So
I guess it's just might be due to site-wide links, which is not good as well. So, there might be you see here, there are less than 300 referring domains and there are more than 3K referring pages. So, like, you know, if you go, like, for instance, here to referring domains, we can see, like, you know, how many. So here are links to target. If we, like, you know, do this, you will see that, oh, by the way, they're like, you know, from Russian speaking websites .ru, but if we go there, we will notice that they are not, like, you know, they don't have any Russian language here.
Right.
So this is kind of suspicious.
Yeah.
I
agree.
So yeah. Then
So
they have some more, like, you know, precise, like .co.uk, and there are over 200 links. Yeah, I think, Christoph, we need to be circle back to link research tools. You will open it and show some kind of toxic links. I guess that the right time.
Yeah, I think at this point,
We've already spotted a problem.
yeah. See, you mentioned 300 domains, but
Yeah,
we actually
only,
see
yeah.
5,705, and
So
of
that's the
those,
biggest reasons, guys, why you need link research tools, because it's going to combine all data in one place rather than, like, you know, looking separately at each and every tool, which is a pure headache if you want to get it all.
Yeah. So what we see here, thank you. This is exactly what I tried to say. We got a total of 5,700 domains, but only 1,042 source domains linking actively at the moment. So that's why I clicked the active tab, which is still 300 is still 3 times more than we saw in Ahrefs for the live index. So I'm not sure what they include or if they exclude some of the links here. You see that we received a disavow file with when the site was submitted. So there was some disavowing going on. And when we look at the site-wide links, as you did before, we probably have this Turkish domain dolphin diving. A Turkish dolphin diving site. We didn't see that before, but yeah, you see, this is disavowed already. So let's look at all the not disavowed yet. And when we combine here with a control click, we go down to 216. So these are the links that we need to look at because they represent what the client has currently still found okay. So out of the 300 at Ahrefs, probably 100 of them were disavowed. So maybe, this is an overlap, but I would rather, trust what the client said, what we disavowed and what not. And I think, I'm not sure if you can upload a disavow to Ahrefs, but that would be something that I would do for sure if you have a disavow file. Because that's what Google really, really then looks at. And you said there was a Russian domain, source TOD?
Yeah, prlog.ru, which is from Russian.
Yeah.
Russian.
Yeah,
So, by the way, Christoph, when did they disavow those links? Because I'm currently looking at traffic trend, and, like, from my side, it seemed that it might happen in April or something like that this year. But when do you know when did they start the process of disavowing?
Well, we got this site submitted in May 20. This is when we got it submitted.
Yeah, it looks like that because they have a harsh drop of traffic and.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But I guess they might get a drop of traffic before they started to disavow in reality, because it takes some time. Even any tool like SEMrush, it takes some time to recalculate everything. So most probably they got a very, very hard drop of traffic inside their Google Analytics and Google Search Console tool. And then they decided to disavow those sites.
Yeah.
I guess it was just
It looks like,
hand by hand normally.
So, and
but that's a very good story. Why you, like, I'll show the traffic trend. Why you shouldn't just buy some random links and whatever it is, because what will happen with you most probably. Here there are organic keywords, as you can see. So obviously, and that's the organic traffic, as you see as well.
Hmm.
So that's kind of what might happen with you, and they're still going down. Actually, even like it obviously it takes some time to recalculate everything, and still they're just going down in terms of organic traffic. So starting from, they got actually 6K here, and then it's ended up with 2K.
To a third.
Um, yeah, and so yeah, you see. So
The traffic
yeah,
numbers are always interesting, but let's not forget that traffic measures what people really do. So
yeah,
we now got Corona, we got COVID-19, so people cannot travel or are not allowed to travel.
yeah.
So starting in April, all that travel just
Yeah, I
stopped.
guess you're right as well.
So
So it
this is
was a
probably,
combination of
yeah.
factors.
Yeah, I think so too. And then everybody was really worried about, I don't know, like 10 new sick people per day, and they did already a lockdown. And then I think in September, October, November, what we see now are a much bigger problems, much bigger numbers in the illnesses. And so I guess that's where a lot of countries, including the UK, did a lot more lockdowns and a lot more restrictions. So the travel then probably suffered even more. And this we need to take into account when you look at the traffic numbers.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely
Yeah,
right. I totally forgot about it.
yeah. It's also the same with Christmas trees. There's this guy who is selling Christmas trees on
Mm. Oh
on the
yeah.
web
What's his
roof
name? He's such a lovely guy,
roof.
actually. He's
Yeah,
Mark. Yeah.
I'm Rufo,
Yeah,
Rufy.
yeah, Mark. His name is Mark, I think.
Yeah, yeah, but we
Um,
know who we're talking about. And so, in January, probably already on December 24th, December 25, you will see a major drop in traffic, and it's not a Google
yeah,
penalty. It's just Christmas. People don't need a Christmas tree anymore, or maybe most people don't need it
yeah.
anymore. And that's going to be the case for the next 11 months or so. And the seasonality in traffic patterns is something that you see in Google Analytics already. And so whenever you look at traffic numbers, always be aware of seasonality patterns and of course competition as well. So in this case, that's a tough call where I'm guessing that maybe now we got a technical problem. I mean, technically in terms of SEO links, toxicity of links here, where we can do some cleanup. But the bigger issue for a bed and breakfast is people don't travel. People don't go to bed and breakfast as much as they used to.
But that
Just
might be some kind of like, you need to restructure a business. So that might be some like, missed opportunities here. It's just like,
exactly.
you might like, kind of find a way, like, first of all, local traveling is on the rise currently, like, traveling across your own country. And so there might be some like untapped opportunities, and just sharing people where they could go in their own country. So like
Yeah.
might be talking more about what you could do on your weekend, what kind of surrounding locations you can see, versus like saying that you need to fly in the US from Europe or whatever it is. So there might be like it's always when something is just closing in terms of like demands, something new is opening. It's always like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
one kind of niche is just coming to its end by some reasons. The new niches are always opening as well, and I think that's the sometimes you just, well, for sure it's absolutely understandable that it's hard to restructure your business and look at it from a new perspective, but that's the right time to think over this. What kind of like maybe additional kind of services or products you can add to help people travel across their countries more effectively, to learn more about their culture, of their like their town, their particular country, and to just to uncover new locations.
Yeah. Exactly. You know what I'm missing here?
Mm-hmm.
COVID, Corona. I'm missing something. They are obviously a partner from booking.com, and
Mm-hmm.
when you click through, you get here to a frame on booking,
Mm-hmm.
where booking provides the fulfillment. And they have something about COVID-19 support, but something to stand out maybe for bed and breakfast guide.com is content
Yeah.
about COVID-19, about the change that you just described, about what's going on with the Christmas markets in the UK. Can you go there? Can you not go there? This is an
Yeah.
ever-changing thing in every country, where they change regulations, where they change the rules, and I don't see any of that here. So here
Yeah.
are it's more or less static from my point of view. And if I would know, if I would just look at a website, I wouldn't even know that we have a worldwide pandemic that you need to cope with, right? It's
Yeah.
I don't see any of that, and that's of course also a missed link opportunity, because
Yeah.
when we look at the target pages, let's see, active links. There is the homepage,
Yeah, for
airports,
sure.
airports, 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 okay, accommodation near universities. Those are some linked pages, some sub pages that have one link. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this is really just. I know this is
Mm.
not the booking. It's not the
Yeah.
frame book, but
No,
everything here,
it's something else.
yeah, everything here goes to booking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And for me, as an SEO, but also as a user, is the question. I'm sorry to say that. What is this page good for? Why did I land here? So I can filter by range, by price range, by distance to, the college, but
Mm-hmm.
all the information I wanna get about the Houston two beds flat is here on this domain. So this
Mm-hmm.
frame should rank, and this is
Mm-hmm.
like an entry, like a gateway page, and there's no extra editorial value here. B2B is near universities. Here are some results, search results, and then a huge directory. No extra value for the visitor. Okay, B2B is near. No extra value for the, you know, if
So
I'm
I
looking
think
for,
it's like it's good to reconsider the whole structure of website as well, because there are a lot of pages that are quite useless, not only from a user perspective, but the more
yeah,
pages you have, the more you have a link juice, and it's spread across all pages. So if you
yeah,
have some pages that you don't need, obviously, and they are quite useless from from all standpoints, then it's better to get rid of them rather than have them.
yeah. So this page here, B2B is near event venues, or this page here, B2B is near golf clubs. They look all the same, except they got different link structures. So they are just navigational. And for me, the question is, why should I go to a B&B near a golf club and not to the
Mm-hmm.
golf club hotel? Is it just the price, or maybe there are other advantages? Maybe the B&Bs are nearer, or can provide some extra service, or some any services, and I miss any of that. So my question is, when I type in to Google a B&B near golf club, oh, look at that! They're even ranking here for golf course, bed,
Oh,
breakfast.
oh, really?
But we didn't find this page. Oh, sorry.
Ah,
What? It looked very similar. Sorry. This is the bed and breakfast guide.com. And what ranks well here is the bed and breakfast co UK. Hmm.
huh.
Okay. Wow.
Okay, so they have a separated website for .co.uk. Huh.
I don't think these are the same people.
Ah, they're different.
Oh, I
Anyway,
heard
this is a quite useless page as well. What should you do there? I don't really see.
it's terrible. It's terrible. And given the fact that we just had this major core update, the quality update for content and whatnot, getting the first result here for B2Bs near golf club, I get
Oh
a page.
Google, oh Google, why?
Yeah, look, this is a page with, we're still counting links,
Mm.
counting, probably with 1,000 links that
Yeah,
all
most
go,
probably yes. Should be a decent number.
Yeah, look at that. I can't stop scrolling. I think my computer will crash right after checking.
It's a never-ending page.
Okay. That's the number one result.
Very interesting.
Going to a listing page. Okay, I have to say I didn't expect that one, but I want to see. I want to do a quick backlink check for this.
Yeah, and that will be interesting to see the number of referring domains they have.
The bed and breakfasts. Co UK.
Yeah.
Bed and breakfasts co UK. Well, it is a great exact match domain. You have to realize it's bed and breakfast guide is also a great domain, but it looks like, when we look at a number of links, that the bed and breakfast guide has a total referring domains was 200 something out of the 5,000. So, yeah.
I'm trying to find it as well. It was bedandbreakfast.co.uk, right? I'll try to take a look at this. Okay, I found it. So I'll open it in Ahrefs as well to take a look. So as I can see from Ahrefs, they have over 1K referring domains, which is quite a lot. But they have a quite solid organic traffic. So Ahrefs, actually, I'll show my page. So
Yeah, our quick check already shows 1,000.
okay, cool. So I'll show you here. So basically, they have across all countries where they're ranking, it's over. So this number is over 100,000 referring. Oh, I'm sorry, organic traffic. So what's interesting is that they also had kind of ups and downs, and the trend is also going down here with the number of referring domains, which is kind of not really good, I would say.
Yeah.
So what I want to take a look is
but when you go to 1 year, what do we see do you see a drop on 1 year on the traffic?
I don't know why it
Alta?
doesn't want to click. Sorry, Oxford Dictionary. No, it's happening. What a disaster. Yeah, let me stop sharing and try sharing one more time. I guess that might be the case. So one more time. Okay. Okay, so no, it's kind of okay.
Stuck?
Yeah, it's stuck. It just doesn't allow me to click.
Okay.
So let's take a look at your graph, because I don't know why.
When we look at them, the 1,000 domains here, there are some quite strong domains. You got some links from European Union, Oxford.
Not bad at all.
When we look at the AC UK links, check this out. They got links from all kinds of governmental. No, this is AC is EDU links. Org UK.
It's just always when a website like this one, for instance, has too many links from EDU websites, it kind of rings a bell, actually.
Yeah, but
I mean, because what the sense of linking back to to this affiliate website, some government websites? That's kind of right.
Find out. Traveling to DMU. So what do we find there? I mean, we can look at the source preview here, or we can look at them here. Can you believe it?
So what's up there? Oh, interesting.
the governmental page here links to it.
Oh, really?
Bed and breakfast co UK.
But it's like opening hours. It's kind of but it's where you can stay. It's kind of
They
interesting.
listed this Hill House guest house
Mm-hmm.
here, and
Mm-hmm.
they link to the listing on the Bed and Breakfast Co UK site, which is
That's very
actually,
interesting.
yeah, look at that. Wow. So the
Interesting.
owners of this domain certainly are lucky.
Very lucky.
Have this advertise. Okay, registered back in 1999. It is a great name for SEO and placement. Okay, they know
Yeah.
what they're doing. Now, a possible link building strategy for these guys is, they're the competitors, but I don't see a reason why bedandbreakfastguy.com could not do it.
Yeah, for sure.
They
Why not?
they would where is it? There is wow. There is this place, the Edgewater. Oh, look.
Mm-hmm.
Edgewater here as well on the Thorpe St. Andrew Town Council. And the town council webmaster maintained that. So either they contacted the webmaster of this town council and said,
Mm-hmm.
listen, we want to present the hotels and we want to present the bed and breakfast in your town better, and we will do the web design, we will do the maintenance, we will just add these listings. Or maybe because it's a listing, they even pay rent for this and say, we we want to be present here in your what do we see, your community open spaces listing, and just offer this town council
Mm-hmm.
thing, I would say content, which is
Mm-hmm.
of course helpful for them. We shoot the photos, we make sure, yeah, okay, but it's not a very good page. Look, opening hours is empty.
Yeah.
But if they reach out to this webmaster of this town council once and say, "Listen, we're gonna help you, and maybe we even pay a fine for pay a fee for our
Yeah.
hotels that we support," that's good. Or maybe it's the other way around, that they contacted the Edgewater here and the other one that we just saw before,
Mm-hmm.
the Hill House guest house, and talk to these B&Bs and said, we're gonna do the listing for you. And
Yeah.
in any case, this is a great link because it's not overdone. It's very natural. It doesn't even have the name of the property in there. I would
Yeah.
say you can't go wrong with that type of link. And when we look at that page, something that I would expect is, oh yeah, this Gov UK is with a
Mm-hmm.
trust of 1. It's not super trusted, but there is trust. Actually, it's the
Mm-hmm.
lowest trust. Oh, look at that. Here on the university, for details of local accommodation, visit Bed and Breakfast Co. UK. Here we got
Mm-hmm.
another one on this university, traveling to DMU in Leicester.
Yeah, I
Wow.
guess it makes sense. It might be like, if you have a similar website, what you can do, you can check some local universities that, then further you can reach out if they don't have some specific links on their website about accommodation, or you can provide them and some details about accommodation from your side, and by that they're going to link back to you. So it's like a win-win thing, and just you need to chat with them. I think the most problematic thing with nearly any government or university website is to find the right person to reach out, because normally what's happening on their end, they have a quite they don't use WordPress, and they have a very, very hard to just they don't even use CMS systems, and so to change anything on their website, they need to contact their developer, and that's where might all the problems appear. Because in order to get your link published, you need to wait for ages. Because you first of all, you need to find the right person who's just managing a website. Because chatting with with an administrator of something won't help you, because this person had nothing to do with their website. So it's the hardest bite here is to find the right person to chat about this. And to make your link really live.
So, but look, here we got this other University of Oxford, the Linnaeus College, and they specifically talk about guest rooms and link out to bed and breakfast in Oxford with just a link to this category here, which I think is fantastic. When we look at the bed and breakfast guide,
which is quite interesting. Why don't they link back directly to booking.com? I don't really get it. Why they're just, linking to some really affiliate websites, not really trustworthy ones. Basically, that's not a real brand or something like that. So that doesn't really make sense from a user standpoint. Why do they redirect, sending people to some very, very wait websites rather than using trusted ones?
For me, maybe it's just because it's a UK site. So UK college links to UK site, and it stays in Britain and blah blah blah, and very the nationalism. Yeah, here in Austria they always talk about the Austrian internet, and they even built a Amazon competitor that it was so bad, so terrible. You can imagine you couldn't even find anything in there with tons of money.
I see. It's just because of .co.uk. So you have a kind of priority if your domain is the local one. It's kind of
think
interesting.
So, yeah. I think so. Although the bed and breakfast guide here is also a British owner, and it's just because of the .com. Choose from thousands of UK B&Bs with the partners. Yeah, and maybe they specifically don't want to list booking.com because they say, oh, the big US company, and we don't want to support something like that. There are some trends to not help, but I think these links
at the end of the day, everyone will go to booking.com because that's an affiliate of booking.com.
Yeah, exactly. Now, maybe it wasn't when that link was placed, and we don't see here in this quick backlink check when the link was placed, but on some of these here, we know that the Bath Spa AC UK, so our actual client, bedandbreakfastguy.com, they got their link 6 years ago. So although we just trolled them since May, the specific full backlink profile, we always try to estimate when a link was really published. And these are the only two university links that Bed and Breakfast Guide has. We have we got other UK links. We got Co-UK, NHS UK, but there's not a single governmental UK. And also only two university links. And this is what I think, Co-UK, this is what I would try to copy in a way. If your competitor has tons of links from ACUK's 67 and you have two, then you should look just at your competitor on these 67 links and think about what can I do to get links like that. And looking at this, I don't see a problem, reaching out to these people and say, hey, we noticed that you are linking to one directory here of bed and breakfasts in Oxford. Maybe you want to have offer a second option, a second opinion. Because this is a little bit fishy if there's only one source. And especially academics like a lot of sources.
Yeah, definitely. You can even provide an updated photo, for instance, what you can say to make it more trustworthy. You can say hey, we noticed that you have an updated photos, or you have an updated info about this or that hotel or guest house, or it's no longer working, which might be also. And so we we have the most recent ones, up-to-date information. So because of this. Just it's like what we found actually. We've done some campaigns for our clients with a cold email outreach, which I don't like actually. So it's a classy one when you're sending a gazillion of emails and saying like, oh, you need to link back to this. But well, at least we've been like, what we've been trying to do. We delivered a page with some internet stats, and we created the most up to date. And what we were looking at, we just found a similar page with tons of referring domains, and it was a bit outdated one. And so some of those pages that were referring to this one, a particular one, they were referring to some particular number, saying that there are like, I don't know, this number of websites in the internet or something like that. And so what we did actually, we in our pitch, we were pointing out that they're referring to wrong numbers basically. And it was, I can't say that it was super like, successful, because response rates are quite low. I mean, like when you're doing it manually versus doing it in a traditional way, but still we got a good number of responses. And so people were reacting quite positively on this. And it wasn't, at least, I would say, hurting our client's reputation, because it was delivered of course, under their name, not our name, because there was a pitch from their company.
Right. When you say in a traditional way, you mean you didn't spam 1,000 people to get in touch with someone?
Well, I mean, like we for sure we did it, like, we selected some particular people, we did some personalization, but still it's a classical one. I mean, like a traditional one in terms of like, you still use a very standard template. Yes, you tweak it a little bit, but still it's like, it's sending hundreds, thousands of emails, depends on your campaign. And we don't do really that. And that's the main reason why I don't like this, because it's kind of a waste of resources, because still you need to spend a lot of time on personalization, on link prospecting. And then you're like, we sent like, as I remember, it was not like tons of emails, maybe something like 400. And we got a few links out of this, which is like, it's not... I would say like this campaign took a lot of time versus generated a few links, which the results aren't equal to like, the time we spent on it. That's the reason why I don't like traditional email outreach. It's not really rewarding in terms of results.
Yeah, I remember teaching that in one of my link building classes last year or so, when I explained that you would have a lot of link opportunities, and then just connect link research to Pitchbox, and then send all your link opportunities in there, and then email hundreds of people.
We also use Pitchbox.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think there's not many alternatives to Pitchbox when it comes to email outreach. They've been when they started in 2013, I think. I said, okay, finally there's a product to integrate with, because all these other bus stream and so we never really liked. However, there was a client who or a student in the group who said, "Oh my God, are you crazy? I cannot email, I cannot spam hundreds of people in the name of my clients. They will come back to me, and the client will be very angry about that. He doesn't want that." So I think you just have to check with your client if he's okay with that.
Yeah, for
Emailing
sure.
hundreds or thousands of people is potentially a reputation issue that you want to be aware.
I always tell that it's in reality it's a big reputational issue, because you never now, like, we always try to filter out all those, like, websites that might somehow be connected with our clients, but always when we work with a massive amount of data, and so there is a chance that this website might also belong to someone who's your close friend or your close partner, and you just don't know. And that looks very stupid when you're sending your email outreach saying, "Hey dude, could you please add this link here?" It's really? So
exactly.
it happens. Even I got once I got an email a few months ago from a very, very well-known company within the digital marketing industry that was asking me to add. It was a very actually stupid pitch. I don't like those pitches because the pitch was itself was something like, hey, you have this post on your blog, so you need to add our link because it's very
Yeah,
valuable. It was written there.
yeah, yeah.
Like, what do you mean by it's very valuable? And it was actually delivered by a very, very well-known company. I was like,
Mhm,
no
mhm.
way.
Yeah, those are the templates. I remember when we started with Pitchbox in 2013, they didn't have any templates in there, and I said, guys, when you do an onboarding for a new user, you need to have some templates in there. They said, no, we don't want any templates because then they're being sent around. And of course, fast
Yes.
forward now, I think they have templates, and sometimes you see those templates. So the people that are lazy users and just use these templates, they shoot themselves in the foot with that already. And
No. The first rule of a successful email outreach campaign: creating
yeah,
your own template.
yeah, yeah.
So that's the very first thing. Don't use any other templates. Brainstorm your own.
Mhm, mhm.
And just because, it smells out of a mile that you are using a template. So,
Yeah.
what we do also. For sure, you need a template, because if you don't have a template, then you need to write out each and every email from scratch. And writing 1,000 emails from scratch, no, that's not
Yeah,
funny at all.
yeah,
So for sure, you need something, but so try to personalize it in a meaningful way. For instance, like, add this particular person. Let's take a look, review where people that you are planning to outreach, they live, in which city or country. Use
mhm,
this. That will be kind of a trigger that works pretty well. Or maybe if you have some time, take a look at their interests and
mhm.
just use this as a trigger. So, like, those small personalization bites, they kind of putting you aside of the rest of other spammers.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
people at least will open your email, which is also great. And they kind of, let's say, it creates a positive attitude towards your brand or your client's brand, just because you did some work,
right.
obviously.
You did some stalking work, really, right? So you try to find out where they live and what their
Yeah.
hobbies are, and then you send them an email and say, "Hey, I always wanted to go to Vienna to also do
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
hobby," and then I go all freaked out and think, "Oh, how does he know?" Right?
Or you can say something like, along those lines, I love this better. Some time ago, I was to Vienna, and I should say, I love your city because of this, which
Hmm.
will be super personalized and will
Yeah,
be much more better than giving random compliments about your, blog post, whatever it is, which is
yeah,
much more
yeah,
on point. And say, oh, you love my city. That's so sweet.
yeah, 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 true. And so the location is one trigger, and of course their name. What else?
Interest.
Interests, yeah. So,
If they visited some particular conferences. So you can say
mhm,
something like, I was also, I don't know, like visited Brighton SEO. If you see that this person was at Brighton SEO. Well,
mhm,
for sure, it takes some time. You can't
mhm.
just, find all this information with the help of Pitchbox. So you need to go and check their LinkedIn profiles and see what they're up for. But I think it's worth it, because in
Mhm,
that way you are not spamming.
mhm.
You're just, at least you're creating something meaningful. Even if they don't want to link back to you, they
Yeah.
won't hate you, at least.
Right. So did they never say something like, "Where do you have this email from?" or
No, I'm
"Why
not
are you
going.
stalking
I'm
me?"
not
No?
going. I will be nice. I should be nice.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So
Good. Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was
So.
actually, they dropped me a message on my personal blog. So, well, they're not asking me to do it on Digital Olympus, but they dropped me a message on my personal blog in
Okay.
a contact form, which is not also good, because if
Yeah.
you do your job properly, you basically, you need to find an email address,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
because like, dropping a message in a contact form, that shows that you haven't done your job properly.
Okay, got it. Yeah, however, a lot of people do not have their email addresses public. So do you then email to office at something or admin at
Uh,
company?
Yeah, so there are a few things that you can do. Well, if you
Mhm,
do, for sure, if you do it on behalf of your clients, you can't do that. But when we do it for our own purposes, first of all, what we do, we don't send an email, a cold email to a client.
mhm,
Instead of this, first of all, we are connecting with some employees on LinkedIn.
mhm,
So that will be the first touch here. And we ask actually, so once those employees are connected with us, we ask what will be the best person to reach out. By the
mhm,
way, I have one small hack from my good friend Miloš Krasinski. You should know this guy. So he's
yeah,
very smart. So he told that if you if you don't know an email address of a person, and by some chance this website has a chatbot, then write in a chatbot. Ask
mhm,
them, I'd love to connect with someone from your content team. Could
mhm.
you please share your email address? In 99%, they will just drop you, just send you back their email address.
Really?
That's,
The
yeah,
chatbot does it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like
Awesome.
when a real person, because when it's not a standard question, it's going to be sent to as a
Ah,
ticket to a support team,
oh,
or
okay.
if they have someone who's replying to it,
Mhm,
and they
mhm.
are not going to ask you why do you need this person. They're just going to reply you because
Right.
their KPIs is to reply as fast as possible.
Oh, that is smart.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So they give out their email information. That's actually social engineering almost, right? You're
yeah,
playing a very tricky game there, but that's cool. If the guy on the support channel is allowed to give out the email addresses, then that's I guess legit because you really want to connect to the content team.
yeah.
So
But
it's
but
not
but
even
they
like,
normally they don't ask questions. They just give you this email because it's a corporate email. It's not a basically there is nothing
mhm.
personal here.
I'm gonna try this on German companies now because maybe in Germany or in Austria there are, data privacy or other rules or just
Maybe.
other topics, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah, you have a very strict regulation there, guys.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But it's a great advice and a trick I'm certainly gonna try, right? That's
Yeah, yeah,
that's lovely. Oh, the KPI is to answer as fast as
yeah.
possible, of course. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
awesome.
So, yeah, because with the rise of chatbots and everything like that, it started to
Mhm.
be much easier to get, the information you'd love to know.
Awesome. So here's a link building trick. That's gold. That's fantastic. Yeah, Alex, I just realized we've been talking for 75 minutes already, over an hour already. So,
Email outreach is such an exciting topic.
right, right. So I would love to continue this in another show, but for today we already got our time limit. We got only two sites this time, but I hope we could, guys, provide some value for you specifically and all the others watching this. Uh, I really enjoyed your link building insights and your
You're very welcome.
experiences. Yeah, and yeah, thank you very much, Alex Tachalova. And where can people reach you, or how does it work? When you take on link building clients.
So, guys, if you'd love to connect with me, definitely do it on Twitter. It's Alex Tachalova. That's very much it. Or you can do it on LinkedIn, or if you're smart enough, you can try to find my email address and reach out to me.
Awesome. Oh, it's
Thank you very
Tac-
much, Christopher, for
Tachalova.
having me.
Thank you, Alex. Have a nice evening.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
You too. Take care.
Ciao.